right? Because you send yourself to do well. So we have confidence that you're going to do well in English at the KCPE level. But where the rubber meets the road is how you'll use the language beyond that. Okay? Now, remember we began with confidence, then we followed up with composure, and now we are learning that you need to have the content, right? So on that note, the vote of thanks was to be done by a teacher. But now, I have just had a change of thought. We'll randomly pick a student from Jabali. In fact, I'll ask the team from Lukenya to pick any name that is on their mind from Jabali. Then I'll ask the team from Jabali to pick any name they have caught on the streets along the corridors from Lukenya. So prepare to give the vote of thanks at the end of this. Luckily, we'll have had our lunch. So right now, we want to prepare for the debate session. We want to get ready for the debate session. And I want to believe that the morning session has given you insights on how to conduct yourself in the debate session. Debaters, am I right? Am I right? Yeah, so actually you can now, if you are going to get your team 5 points, now the morning session has helped you get 5 more because you are now better equipped. You know, in addition to the preparation we have had for the 2 weeks that we've had or 1.5, or the time that you took, the morning session has added to that. So I want to call upon Miss Margaret to come and help us just set up for the debate.
Thank you so much, Laura. So, can we have silence? Thank you. Now, it's time for us to do the debate. We are well prepared. We know the motion. Social media makes us less social. Now, if you are proposing the motion, you are for the motion. If you're opposing the motion, you are against the motion. The stage is already set up. We will have proposers sitting on one side. Then we will have the opposers seated on another side. Our speaker for today is Pendo. Is it Pendo or Patience? Patience. Very good. Patience is going to be our speaker for today. Then, Dallas is going to act as our critic. Is it Dallas? Yeah. So the work of a critic is simply to correct the grammatical mistakes that you guys will be doing. So be on the lookout because Dallas is there to correct the grammatical mistakes. Then we are going to have, we will be the judges. The teachers are going to be the judges. Each speaker has 3 minutes. Each speaker has 3 minutes. After the main speakers have talked or have rendered their points, we are going to have a rebuttal session. In the rebuttal session, the opposers will have an opportunity to cross-examine points stated by the proposers, and so will be the proposers. Is that okay? What do I mean by cross-examining? For example, if Eliana stands here and tells us that the reason why she's opposing the motion is because parents spend most time, on their phones and their children fail to do work, then I can have, is it Roseanne? Roxanne. Yes, I can have Roxanne cross-examining Eliana and asking Eliana, what do you mean? What exactly do you mean by parents do not ensure that the homework is done? Are we together? In the meantime, I think we prepared teams both in Lukenya and Jabali. We have opposers, right? So can I have the opposers? The 4 from Lukenya, the 4 from Jabali. The 4 opposers from Lukenya, the 4 opposers from Jabali. Then let me begin with the proposers. Eliana, are you opposing or proposing? Yeah, let me begin with the opposers of the motion. Opposers. Then let me have the proposers of the motion. Proposers. Joy, are you opposing or proposing? You're opposing. Eliana, are you guys opposing or proposing? So come. Proposers from Jabali, please come. Join this team. Proposers from Jabali and then proposers from Lukenya. Proposers from Jabali, proposers from Lukenya. Okay, fine. So one person is missing. We can, yeah. Yeah. Any volunteer to propose the motion? The floor is open. Volunteer. We have just taught you public speaking here. This is now your turn to shine. Come on, volunteer. We will actually call you the last person so that you prepare enough. Volunteer to propose the motion. Hey. Volunteer. Okay, is it that? Thank you so much, Prince. Thank you. Join the team. So, Madam Speaker, where are you, Madam Speaker? Come, Madam Speaker, we need to agree. You can get on stage. For the debate, you are allowed to have your books. jokes. I think timekeeper. Who was supposed to be our timekeeper? Was it from Lukenya? Johnny. Oh. Okay. Raphael. Raphael is from Jabal. Okay, then Lukenya we need. Okay, we can have both of you. Johnny, come together with Raphael. Welcome people.
Greetings to all. May we kindly stand up for the national anthem. O God of all creation, bless this our land. Thank you. You may sit down. I'd like to welcome you to the debate, and I'd like to also introduce the motion, social media is making us less social. Each speaker from the opposers and the proposers side team has a maximum of 3 minutes to state and support their point. Welcome. And now I'd like to call upon the first proposer, Ryan.
Madam Speaker, it is such a privilege to be here to firmly propose the motion that states social media makes us less social. So let us derive the meaning of social media from the Oxford Dictionary. Social media is termed as websites and software used for social networking. Social media has its own advantages and disadvantages. People, especially youths, inexorably glue their attention to their vibrant screens that they forget how to socialize with one another. Numerous young boys and girls become introverted. Most of them are dull and in activities that require prompting from their screens. Those screens may cause blindness, which lands them in hospitals, making them not to socialize. Till now, I dwell on the proverb that states, "Fire is a good servant, but a bad master." Fire in this refers to social media. If social media is used wrongly, it can lead you to doing bad things. Once again, Madam Speaker, thank you.
Thank you, first proposer. Now I'd like to call the second opposer, for the first opposer, Eliana.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for granting me this priceless opportunity to firmly oppose the motion that social media makes us less social. My name is Eliana Mudeo. First of all, what is social media? Social media, according to the English dictionary, is defined as website and software used for social networking. With that in mind, what are the examples of social media networks? These examples are TikTok, WhatsApp, and the likes. One of my countless reasons as to why I oppose this motion is because social media has made several children enlightened in terms of electronical discovery. In so, it has led them to compete across the world, making more friends. Not only that, but also it is as clear as a crystal that social media is the backbone of the 21st century. So it is not a surprise that it has built and improved the logical thinking of many children. You may find that children even make games and animations and post them all over social media, making them famous. And lastly, to mark the climax of my points, social media is a massive communication mode through which one can keep in touch with one another. For example, I may meet someone here in Jabali School, and even though I might not see them physically, I can still keep in touch with them. Now, who here does not use social media, whether in form of entertainment or communication? So then, I rest my case. Thank you, Madam Speaker, once more.
Thank you, Eliana, for your point, and I'd like to call the second proposer, Laura Besi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to propose the motion. Social media First, I propose this motion because during the COVID-19 era, as much as social media was used more, most people found themselves being cyberbullied, and it has led to depression, which has further led to suicide. And also, social media is the greatest enemy of language. Social media is the greatest enemy of language because most people, especially school-going children, who tend to use social media use abbreviations and short form words that most of them make no sense, which leads to lack of their vocabulary. Like, for example, if a teacher is marking a pupil's composition and they see the word cap, in social media, it is a short form that is used to mean like something is a lie. So, and the teacher might mistake it as a cap that is worn on the head. So, as much as the teacher will mistake it, the way it has been used in the pupil sentence will make them get a low grade. And also, it's better to socialize because when you socialize, your vocabulary will increase because you are also being able to be corrected by the teacher or by the person you're talking to. So it expands people's vocabulary more. Thank you.
Thank you, second proposer, for giving us, presenting your point. Now I'd like to call the second opposer, Dylan.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to rest my point. First, I would like to say, as my peers said, as of now, you all know what social media is. Social media is not making us less social because interacting through social media is way effortless because so many people access media nowadays all around Africa and even the globe. But human-to-human interaction has been proven by many to have less interactive communication with each other. Secondly, hosting an event on social media platforms has a global outreach. For example, lives on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram and etc. have offered a way of the fans and the popular person to interact or rather engage. Lastly, as I finish, I would say using social media platforms, you can communicate and socialize with your friends and peers at any specific time, either night or day. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, second opposer, for your point. And now I'd like to call the third proposer, Tracy.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this wonderful opportunity. My name is Tracy Mose, and today I'll be proposing the motion that says, social media makes us less social. Social media has many advantages, but we've all heard of the dictum that says, not all that glitters is gold. In the current generation, many children have access to social media by the age of 7. This, therefore, reduces the amount of time they have to socialize with their peers as compared to the past. In the past, children were able to play and socialize with their age mates from dusk to dawn. This led to them learning new skills and abilities and even improving their talents. Parents nowadays barely have time for their children. They spend most of their time at work, and even the little amount of time they have with their children ends up being glued to their screens. This has led to early exposure of the children to electronics. Let us not forget that social media has made the children of this era very lazy. Children these days can stay indoors, laying on their beds, watching TikToks all day. This will later cause conflicts between them and their parents due to undone chores, untidy spaces, and more. And with those very many remarks, Madam Speaker, I raised my case.
Thank you so much for your point. Joan, the third opposer, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this splendid opportunity to firmly oppose the motion that states social media makes us less social. My name is John Gary. First and foremost, our youth has become more confident and more expressive because of social media. What I mean by this is that when youths use their social media platforms to talk to their friends or to get to know what they are doing, they are able to learn new things and vocabulary that help them to talk to their friends through these apps. They have also discovered different apps using mobile phones like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, etc. The youth have also used social media as a source of interaction and a way of communicating with their family and friends. This has encouraged connection between people in different places, which has brought up easy communication amongst us across the globe. In most schools, social media has helped in terms of research on new things, especially when learning a certain aspect. This makes the teachers' work easier and the children are able to understand better. Kenya. Most youths in Kenya are looking for different jobs, especially after they have finished their education and are now preparing for their future lives. Social media has made the youth and also adults more sociable by making them interact with different people and companies, and by doing so, they acquire self-esteem and their life at work becomes more comfortable. Our generation has fully developed in terms of proper communication just because of social media. There is no absolute reason to oppose this motion. Once again, thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you. I'd like to call the fourth proposer, Kaylin.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to propose on the motion. Social media is making us less social. I think it is making us less social because we are probably all forgetting the value of face-to-face communication, which help us create more important and sustainable relationships. Scientists have proved that without enough face-to-face communication, then nonverbal cues are unable to develop, skewing children's lives and relationships as they grow up in a technology-inclusive society. What are these nonverbal cues? These nonverbal cues are, take an example. As I'm stating my point, I could see the emotions you're portraying. Whether it could be whether you're happy, sad, or bored. Secondly, you tend to find most of the people who you look up to or your friends on social media, and they look like they're living an amazing life, but most of the time their online lives tend to fail to match up with their real ones. Social media also reduces the sleep pattern that one has, and you want to catch up with your friends chatting or FaceTiming, and you end up missing on a lot of sleep, which could be useful for the next day. Social media also makes us procrastinate in our day-to-day activities, which could be as simple as reading a book or visiting your grandparents, but instead you want to catch up with them on a screen or read your book from a screen, and you wouldn't get the same quality emotions that you'd get from a book. Multiple studies have shown that social media increases antisocialness, feeling of loneliness, and diminish of one's self-esteem. And I can say that this is mostly seen in the millennials and is probably going to continue being passed on. Social media also, it prevents the normal interactions that one would have in the past. As an example, if you hadn't caught up with one of your friends for a long time and you want to catch up on a call, one wouldn't get the same sympathy that they would get if it were face-to-face. Thank you.
Thank you, Kayleen. Now I'd like to call the fourth opposer, Sasha.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this golden opportunity to oppose the motion that states social media is making us less social. Social media helps build and maintain social relations. For example, when our president meets with a foreign president, they can connect online and talk about other things or build what they want for the future. Social media also can help you interact with your friends. For example, when you're watching sports, for example, the Olympics, you can call onto them to come, you grab some popcorn and you watch together. Thank you.
Thank you, Sasha. I'd like to call the fifth proposer, Roxanne.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this honorable opportunity to state why I think social media is making us less social. My name is Roxanne Kadima, and I shall be explaining why I am proposing the motion. First, the fourth opposer said that social media builds relationships. The more social media we use, the less we connect with people. Just because we give a few comments on our feedback does not mean that we are actually socializing with people. Whereas if you give a comment in real life, you tend to make a connection and continue with a conversation with a person better than in social media. In a recent global study by the Capsbury Lab, it shows that people nowadays communicate less face-to-face than how they used to do it in the past. This is because of a newfound ability to just stay in touch online. If you go to a normal gathering, you just find someone in the corner of a room sitting and scrolling on their phone. But if you were to socialize without social media, it will make us to have better relationships and build a relationship with the people that are around our surrounding. In studies, researchers have found out that a third of the population that use social media tend to communicate less with their peers, parents, and friends because they just simply follow them online. I think social media is making us less social, and it is removing family time and self-time by by influencing us to have the wrong idea on one's livelihood. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Roxanne. I'd like to call the fifth opposer, Jeremy.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this remarkable opportunity to oppose the motion that says social media makes us less social. First of all, we all love social media, correct? Correct. Social media can help us make friends all over the globe. It can also make us more confident and more open. The likes of TikTok can entertain us when we are idle, because there is a saying that says social media is, an idle mind is the devil's workshop. Secondly, I would like to dwell on what the second proposer said. During the COVID-19 period, the only way of learning we could use is using Zoom or the likes. And thanks to social media, we were able to continue with the syllabus at home. It is true to say that this world is full of stress and worry, and most of us find it relaxing to watch funny videos on YouTube. There are ups and downs with social media, but try and imagine this world without it. Once again, thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, fifth opposer, for your point. I'd like to call the sixth proposer, Lekshon.
Thank you, Honorable Adjudicator, for giving me this opportunity to propose the motion stating social media is making us less social. First of all, there are multiple reasons to go onto social media, either to socialize or to find entertainment. Most of us go to social media either for entertainment or to socialize with other people. It is true that we get more opportunities to socialize with the people we don't know on social media, but more than 50% of the people on our friends list who we haven't even met, we call them our friends, but even our pets can be our friends, but there aren't anyone on our friend list. Secondly, people on social media can create fake accounts lying about who they are, so they can get to your personal information and leak, let's say, your address, personal information. I'd like to emphasize on what I said before about having friends you haven't even met before. According to the English dictionary, a friend is someone who is attached to you with feelings of affection or personal regard. And therefore, I don't think that most of our friends on social media who we haven't even met are attached to us with any of those statements I have just said. And once again, I'd like to thank the Madam Speaker for giving me this opportunity to speak. Thank you.
Thank you, Lekshon. I'd like to call the sixth opposer, Theo.
Madam Speaker, it is my pleasure to stand before you today to firmly oppose the motion that states social media makes us less social. My name is Theo Philip. First and foremost, I would like to say that social media gives people a protean character. For those of you who don't understand, it means that it's able to change someone easily and quickly. In the past, children would shy off from each other and would not have much confidence. But now, thanks to social media, someone is able to, for example, post on Instagram and get good comments from that, which instills a lot of confidence in them. So you can't say that social media actually does not give anyone anything in return. Those comments and likes that are given back to the person who has posted give that person confidence and make them feel good about themselves. Who here doesn't like a good laugh? Social media actually provides memes and content and a lot of comedy daily, so you can never get bored of it. They say that all those people who sit there just by themselves have nothing to do, but in fact, you are able to talk to someone so much farther away from you than someone who is directly next to you. In the past, children could only associate themselves with people around them, but thanks to social media, you're able to talk to someone who's so much farther away. And yet we are still here opposing the motion that states social media makes us less social. That is all not true. It is as clear as crystal that social media does not make us less social, but in fact makes us more social. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Theo, for giving us your point. Now I'd like to call the seventh proposer, Matthew.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this marvelous opportunity to propose the state that social media makes us less social. Social media can also not be trusted because someone might seem completely normal on the other screen, but you may never know the background of that person. And there is also a lot of scamming done on social media. For example, you might want to buy a computer for, there might be an ad saying that you want to buy a computer for only probably 30,000 shillings. But then you end up buying a box full of stones. My second point, this is also nowadays known as cyberbullying. It causes them emotional disturbance, which makes them insecure. They become introverted and lock themselves in their rooms, wasting their time in social media instead of learning with their peers. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sixth proposer, for your point. Now I'd like to call the seventh opposer, Trevor.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. I'd like to say that social media has helped us a lot. For example, information is almost instantly spread with the tap of a few buttons, and people globally might profit or benefit from this news. We get to talk more things with people, hence more opportunities to create jobs and employ others. We can also reduce terrorist attacks to presidents and leaders, thus reducing the amount of leaders dying in the country that were once great, becoming nothing but corrupt and nothing but a mess. Children can learn from social media and stay updated with what is happening globally and have a topic to talk about with their friends and colleagues. Entertainment may make us invite people and watch something and do something once in a while, and we can have something to talk about instead of just keeping quiet and looking at each other. People with disabilities, for example the deaf, are helped to socialize by social media, for not many knowing the term sign language. When the deaf are watching the daily news, nowadays with the modern teach and media programs have put a person for sign language in the bottom right of the screen. There will not be any form of socializing with the deaf if it wasn't for that, or rather, if it wasn't for social media. Thank you.
Thank you, Trevor. Now I'd like to call the last opposer, Joy. The last proposer, Prince.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this wonderful opportunity to propose the motion, social media makes us less social. Social media might be an easier way of communication. However, it has its own ups and downs. When it comes to physical development, it helps by 0%. This causes obesity and makes them vulnerable to diseases. Once again, it's such an honor to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Prince, for your point. like to call the last opposer, Joy.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to present myself on this stage to oppose the motion, social media is making us less social. First, I will start to answer or oppose the statement of opposer 3 and, was it 7? And also 1. The word introvert. An introvert is a person who likes to keep to themselves. So if you tell me social media is making people more introverted, have you forgot about the people who like to keep their heads in books, also known as bookworms? I will not dwell on that much, but also if you dwell on the past, what time will we get to build your future? We are in the 21st generation, Gen Z. Social media is widely, globally spread and is the main big thing. Anyway, social media helps us to build and maintain relationships, especially long-distance ones. Now, in the past that you people like to dwell on so much, when you wanted, let's say, a bowl of sugar and your neighbor was 3 miles away, 3 miles, like literally sugar, how would you get to them? These days, you can just order online to save energy. Down to my second point. Social media helps us to conserve forests. Why do I say that? What is paper made out of? Trees, right? When we use our phones or smartwatches or whatever gadget you have to read online, it avoids cutting down of trees. It helps us conserve our forests that help us get water catchment areas. Am I right or am I right? So, I would like to go down to my third point, which is my last point, about communication. In social media, communication is much more, and it helps someone express themselves freely more than face-to-face. When you say face-to-face, doesn't it need someone confident? Don't you need to know the person? When you say face-to-face is more relevant, don't you need the confidence, the words, the feelings to talk to someone? That is why social media helps you express yourself freely, both verbally or physically, because we say there's something called a video call, so you can see the person if you are curious. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Joy. Now the floor is open for anyone who'd like to ask questions. Anyone?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I will just like to ask the last opposer on why she thinks that almost everyone has how everyone could access social media. Not in in rural areas, people don't have the abilities to access it. It is rare to find people who have it, but it's also there, but then it's really rare. So please explain your last point further.
Okay. You have a valid point right there. I'll give you that. But listen and listen well. As we are developing the world of today, jobs, opportunities, they're found on posters like this screen here. They help advertise. So as people are getting jobs, they get income. When they get income, they are able to find the information of today. You don't have to be rich or have a smartphone to access social media. Yes? Thank you. Your question answered.
Um,
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to challenge the proposal. To the fourth proposer, she said that social media makes us procrastinate. But personally, I think that friends who give peer pressure, it would be harder to say no to them to go out for like a party or something than just deciding to put your phone away. Also, to the fifth proposer, they said that nowadays people socialize less, but also for us to socialize face to face, we need social media to plan with people who, like let's say family from abroad or something. So we need social media to also plan for face to face socialization. And to the sixth proposer, he said that on social media we meet people who we don't know and we won't know their background, and we might be talking to like people that we don't know. But also in face to face, we can socialize with people who, it doesn't necessarily have to be friends, but we can meet new people and socialize with them as well. Thank you.
To the last proposer, by you saying trees makes us more social, what do you mean? Trees make us. How do trees make us less social?
I feel like you misinterpreted my statement. I was saying social media helps us socialize more, and that helps us save trees. When you read a book online, people can write and then publish them online. And they won't have to cut the trees in order to make paper, have them printed, and that is how our forests are saved. Thank you.
To the last opposer, yes. You've said, okay, yeah, it helps in conservation, but this also poses people's jobs are lost because guys in the industries lose their jobs. So it's so even if it helps us in socializing, industries have been broken down. So your point is not well understood.
Okay, you have a point as well. But you see, when people in the industries lose their jobs, they have another chance on the internet to get more jobs that can benefit the society. The industries you're talking about kill the environment. Am I wrong? The industries you're talking about pollute the area. So, if they lose their jobs in the industrial work, they have a much bigger opportunity on the internet. And being industry is not the only job on this planet. Thank you.
To the last opposer, may I just ask, how is it that only social media is the only way to communicate that things are going wrong in this society? Let's not go very far. Let's stay here in Kenya.
Sorry for interrupting. Please repeat. I'm sorry.
Let's start from Kenya. Most people here live in rural areas. Can't they get their communication from somewhere else? Let's say by the newspaper. They can read by the newspaper that trees are getting cut down or deforestation is building up. Isn't that another way of saying that it will damage our environment? Social media is not the only way to do it. Thank you.
Thank you. The newspaper you talk about contributed to the cutting of trees. And there's this thing called radios, like we learn in SST, since we all of us here do 844 system, radios are the most widespread. And since we are developing, I think there is a much easier means of communicating that trees are being cut down. Thank you.
Thank you. I have a question to Opposer 5, who said something about COVID-19 and how social media was used. I'd like to oppose that because during the same COVID-19, there was most cases of cyberbullying and suicide. And if we were to use social media, wouldn't we be on a Zoom call right now doing this debate? But instead, we decided to have face-to-face interactions because it was more efficient. A question to Opposer 7, who said that information is spread almost instantly. Not all the time that this information is valid or true, and it could be that it's spreading rumors in the wrong way, which could lead to someone's diminish of their self-esteem. To Opposer 8, express feelings freely. It would be better for you to express your feelings towards someone face-to-face because it would help you be criticized in the correct way and that you may be able to interact properly. Thank you.
I'm speechless. I don't know how to answer your question. That's one. Two, the only way I'd answer your question is by asking another one. How did we know about COVID-19 in the first place? When it struck in China, it was put in the social media for the whole world to see that there is a new virus upcoming. And I don't know how to put this, but yeah, thank you.
I'd like to answer your question. Yes, it spread through social media, but most of the people in Kenya, for an example, did not know about the COVID-19 because not most of them could access this social media.
Can I answer?
Okay, I'd like to ask Opposer 6 on how, in social media, as you said, the likes build up the person's self-esteem, but also the likes can make the person develop a personality trait in order to get more likes than other people on social media. And also, a question to Opposer 8. The government, about cutting down of trees, the government, the government says, like, if you cut down a tree, you plant two. So I'd like to know, or I'd like you to emphasize more on your point about cutting down trees. Yeah.
Excuse me, Madam Speaker. As you can clearly see, the screen is saying the debate topic is social media is making us less social. We were talking about socialism. Where did the topic trees and COVID-19 come up? Please get your priorities right.
Good point. Good point. Good point. Now, let's go back a bit, just a bit. When you say, where did the topic of trees come from? This proves to me you aren't listening. So, I said, when people read online, books are meant for what? Reading. Where do books come from? Paper. Where does paper come from? Trees. I hope you're answered. COVID-19. COVID-19 was a disease that was spread globally. And how did we learn? How did people communicate? Using social media. How did people go to school? Virtually. I hope you're answered. Your question has also been answered about this thing of trees. Oh, government. You said something about the government. Yes. Cut one, plant two. We are Kenyans. We are humans. What percentage of humans do you think will follow that rule? We do not know, but a slight chance. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, to the last opposer, books and socializing aren't in the same genre. So I feel like she's not hitting our topic for today. Thank you.
Can I answer you? Yeah, I want to answer you.
Wait, no.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to answer the one who said about how did the people in rural areas know about social media, about COVID-19, sorry. What about radios? Isn't it a modern form of communication? It's not a must for you to have a phone for you to know that you are looking on social media. Even TV is a part of social media.
Please let's focus on today's motion. Social media is making us less social. Please, if anyone wants to add on that, but please let's just focus on today's motion.
I would like to answer someone's question in the crowd. They said something about COVID-19 not related to the topic. He said that it helped us interact during the COVID-19. But for me, I disagree because yes, we interacted, but we interacted in the wrong way with bad intentions. Like I said, cyberbullying. And secondly, she said something about books. Opposer 8 said something about books and when we cut down trees and instead of reading it on our phones. But when you're planting those trees, aren't you socializing with the people that you're planting them with? Thank you.
I would like to comment on her point. Question her point. Who said you have to plant trees with people? You can plant a tree alone. Thank you.
As I said, please let's focus on today's motion. Social media is making us less social.
I'd like to state something about what Opposer 7 said about the deaf people and about the news having an interpreter for sign language. Most shows don't have that. So, according to me, most deaf people have been affected due to COVID-19, and because like as much as they use electronics, like technically most shows don't have the interpreters. So I'd like to understand why you chose that as your point.
Madam Speaker, may I say a point? May I say a point? First of all, COVID-19 is not related to the topic. And even if it were, even if all of us had Zoom classes, right? But most of us probably weren't even listening because we were distracted by the same social media that we were using. So, in the end, we did not get any benefit out of it. Thank you.
Okay. You said COVID-19 is not related to the topic. When people were quarantined, how did they socialize? Through social media. And you know, quarantine means staying in a place alone for 14 days or more if you are suspected or had the disease. So they socialized through social media. And this thing for books, it could also be a way. If you read a book online, wouldn't you want to tell your friend about it? Yes. Or would you even send them the link to where the interesting book you found was? Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. Opposer 8, I will still like to insist that COVID-19 is not related to the topic. You said when you were starting your point that we should stop focusing on the past and focus on the present. Have you seen anyone, like, it's really rare to see people wearing masks, and the Kenyan, I never said no one was wearing a mask. And in Kenya, people are now assuming that COVID-19 is over. So how does that relate to how does that relate to the motive social media is making us less social? Thank you.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to answer what proposer number 3 asked. Proposer number 2 asked, how do likes and comments make you feel better about yourself? What you're focusing on is that the negative point of it. Just because you may have gotten 1 or 2, 3 bad comments on one video you posted does not mean you can prove that everyone on this entire planet has bad motives. Most of the things that we have on this planet have helped and have been boosted by social media. You can't say that you can send a person to go all over the streets of Kenya putting on posters of a certain brand about Blue Band or something, when you can just go onto like TikTok or something and post a video that everyone can see. So what I feel like is you are dwelling too much on the negative point and not seeing that not everyone on this entire planet has bad motives.
Excuse me, Madam Speaker. Proposer 6 said, someone you meet on social media may leak your information. What about jealous friends? You may have a disagreement and rumors may spread about you.
Could you kindly repeat your point?
Proposer 6 said that you may meet someone on social media and they may leak your information, but what about jealous friends? You may have a disagreement and rumors may spread about you.
I would like to answer the question that was asked by one of the audience about what if it was a jealous friend. As much as the friend was jealous, I don't think in most cases they would go as far as to hack into your accounts to get personal information or leak your address, because even if they were your friends, they wouldn't go as far as to do that because they knew it would not only affect you, but also affect the people you live with or the people who live around you. Thank you.
As the proposer, Theo said, the opposer, he said that we only look at the negative things. That is their work. That's what they're doing. That's what they're there for. Yeah, exactly. So they're supposed to look at the negative aspect of our topic. Exactly.
You're confused.
Thank you. I'd like to answer the question of proposer number 6, who said that something about a point I had said. I'd want to clarify myself. First of all, what is the definition of social? Social, just social. It is having one-on-one conversations and contributing to the rumble of small talk in gatherings, and it demands that one is physically present. And for you to be able to create social media, you had to be together with someone socializing, because you couldn't have had a call to be able to make that certain social media because it wasn't there. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to emphasize on the question that proposer number 2 asked me. You asked me, what if a show does not have an interpreter? There's a reason that there are subtitles.
First of all, I'd like to clarify that on what? Who said it? Kimberly said that they are trying to do their job on proposing. I'm also trying to do and defend what we believe in, and they can defend what they want to believe in. And I'd also like to dwell on what they have said, that in some shows there are no interpreters for those blind or deaf. In the same public gatherings that you have, are there those interpreters there? No.
Which ones? Do you remember Madaraka Day? Tell me the interpreter that was there for the deaf. Madaraka Day that just happened a few days ago. I did not see any interpreter. I did not. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable. So, proposer 6, you said that you can put posters on phones, but the people at Marsabit are struggling to find phones. It's so emotional, so emotional.
Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker, we are almost coming to the closure of this. So maybe if you can, the proposers, I want you to work together and give us your final remarks. Same to you, the opposers. That is what we are waiting for to determine who will carry the day. The person you send for us to give your last point, or rather the conclusion, make sure you choose them very well. As they do that, Dallas, prepare to give us remarks from your end. This is supposed to be done in collaboration. Opposers, I can see the way you are reluctant. It's supposed to be done in collaboration. Opposers, your final take. The conclusion of your topic. Your time is up. Through Madam Speaker, can we get your final remarks? Through Madam Speaker. Proposers?
Okay, we are now coming to an end, and I'd like to call a person from the proposers team to come and say their final remarks.
Thank you once more. Basically, I'm still standing firmly with my point on how social media makes us less social, with all that my fellow proposers have said, and I still support it because it's okay if you call me old school, but still, social media does not make us social in any way. Thank you.
Thank you, Kayleen, for your final remarks. Now I'd like to call a person from the opposer team to come and say their final remarks.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to summarize all our points and just put it in one. I would just like to say, social media was created for a good motive, and as human beings, not all would see it that way. But those who have seen it that way will make a change in the world and make social media develop in a positive way. Because right now, new leaders are being elected, new times, and these times have changed. So social media will be more positive in the end. And I would like to end with social media is making us more social because it is the new thing. It is the widely, it's our world of today. Thank you.
Thank you, Joy, for your final remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the commendable job. We appreciate your leadership. We want to welcome Dallas. Dallas was our critic for the day. Dallas Banks, welcome.
Thank you for this opportunity. First off, I want to begin with the opposers. Eliana said even make. Dylan said plus forms. Joanne said helped M and etc. Sasha, there was nothing wrong with her statement. Jeremy said all the likes instead of and the likes. Theo said so much father. And he also said, I wonder why we are still opposing, and he is an opposer. Trevor, there was nothing wrong with what he said. Joy, there was nothing wrong with what he said. For the proposers, Ryan's statement was okay. Laura said, and also. Tracy, nothing wrong was her. Nothing wrong. She said nothing wrong. Kaylin said, the without, and portraying instead of portraying. Roxanne said, makes us to have. Lekishon said, adjudicators instead of speaker. Matthew said nothing wrong. Prince said social. He said obsessity and honor. Thank you.
Excuse me, teachers and the grammar person, sorry. It will even make, is that correct? It will even make. It will even make things better, something like that.
It will make things better.
Thank you.
Most welcome.
Thank you for judging this debate. We are grateful.
We are also grateful. I really enjoyed the debate, especially the last part. This is very emotional. It's very emotional. I have enjoyed the debate. I want us to clap them first for that wonderful debate. Let's clap them, a round of applause. Thank you. Now, I also want us to clap for our audience for keeping you guys on toes. Yeah. Whenever you tried veering off, they did not spare you. I liked the teamwork that was going on somewhere there and at the farthest end of the proposers there. So we are here to give you the final remarks. We have sat, Mr. Mutangili, Miss Leonzia, Miss Alice, and I. We were judging you as you gave your points. To begin with, let me just say that you somehow veered off the motion. What was our motion? Now, what you guys were doing was to give us benefits of social media. Most of you, almost all the speakers that came, you are not telling us how exactly is social media making us less social. You are giving us points, the benefits of social media and the demerits of social media. It avoids face-to-face communication, but you are not telling us how exactly is it decreasing face-to-face communication. I'm not saying that you did not do well. You really did well. You really have done well, but we have actually said that this motion, we are going to revisit the motion, both in Lukenya and Jabali. So next Saturday or even the other time, we will revisit the motion so that we get to the end of it. Now, according to the judges, I'm speaking on whatever I'm saying is what Mutangili has said, what Miss Alice has said, and what Miss Leonzia has said. Now, opposers, we gave you 60 points. We gave you 60 points. Then we gave the proposers 63%. We want to appreciate few speakers who did quite a commendable job. Let me begin with the opposer side. We want to appreciate Theo Philip. You can just stand. And we also want to appreciate Joy. Joy. Now, I think Joy had enough cases to answer in this debate, and I think she did justice. I thank God she is confident. I don't know what she would have done had she not incorporated her confidence. So we are appreciating you, and the reason why we are appreciating you from the opposers team is because you carried the team. You made the troubles of the team be your troubles. On the proposer side, we want to appreciate this wonderful girl, Kaylin. Kaylin. Even when things were tough, you went ahead and helped us understand the meaning of social, which was ignored by many. Let me also appreciate, this is very emotional. I want to appreciate him, Prince. You see, Prince has just added emotions into speech, and it was, I think, the rock bottom of the whole debate. It is very emotional, very emotional. So we want to appreciate you. Thank you so much for the wonderful job. Thank you so much for the wonderful job. From the judges' desk, we have said the proposers carried the day, and that was based on their points, because most of their points actually leaned towards the motion. Thank you so much. Now, these people that have stood here should be appreciated in the assembly on Monday. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, we are waiting for you to close the floor.
Sorry.
Just a minute. We did not appreciate the speaker. She actually... It is very wrong. Let me just stand. You know, the speaker is the one that drives the motion and does everything. In fact, at some point when people were veering off the motion, she actually took charge. I hope you noticed. She took charge and told people, you know, you are off the motion, so get it right. So, patience. We really, really appreciate you. Thank you for the wonderful job. Let's appreciate her. We have timekeepers behind Madam Speaker. We really acknowledge you. That's Johnny and Raphael. Thank you so much. And Madam Critic did a good job as well. Thank you so much, Dallas. We are waiting for you, Madam Speaker, to conclude so that you can set us free.
Thank you, everyone, for giving me this opportunity to be your speaker. And I'd like to thank everyone for fully participating in this debate. As Teacher Margaret said, it really has been emotional, but thank you so much, and have a blessed day. Thank you.
We can do the national anthem. Be upstanding. O God of all creation,
thank you. You can all sit down.
Wow. Wow. Today is really packed with knowledge, right? Yeah, we are leaving this place knowing more than we knew when we were coming. And that is the whole objective of this session. So I want us to appreciate this team that has done a wonderful job. If they had not prepared well, I'm sure we would have finished this session by now. We wouldn't have had any rebuttals to make. So I want us to give them 10 factorials. 10 factorials. Relax. You're emotional and excited. So at the count of 3, we start. 10 factorials. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. I was being reminded that they should be 5, but when people do a good job, you also reward them more, right? So we want to break for our lunch, and you can prepare yourself psychologically. Prepare yourself psychologically. I hope you did not fill yourself up to the brim, because a meal worth a king's has been prepared for you. So you can start praying for space in case you felt you are already feeling full. Yeah, so we are going to leave this place, go have our lunch in 30 minutes. And as we leave this place, kindly leave with everything that you came with, because we are even changing venues. Because of the wonderful job you have done, we want to give you a feel of another venue. So carry everything that you came with you. We won't be coming back here, and it will be difficult for you to find anything you leave here, because another team is coming to use this venue. So after we have prayed for the meal, we'll pack, and then from the dining hall, we shall be directed to our venue for the afternoon session. And the afternoon session is going to be the climax of all this. So be prepared and be ready. We are not yet done. I want to ask a volunteer from the crowd to come and pray for the meal. Thank you. Come forward. That's Dallas Banks.
Let's bow our heads for prayer. Everlasting Father, King of Kings, we want to thank you. We come to you today thanking you for everything you've done for us. Thank you for leading us until where we are now. We are about to go for our lunch, Lord, so please help us, Everlasting Father. When you go to our next venue, Lord, help us to do it well, Everlasting Father. Forgive us for anything we have done that has not pleased you. And for it in Jesus' name I do pray and believe. Amen.